All right. So what I'm on a weekly basis, and what I like to do is I start with a higher time frame. I actually, when I start with a blank chart, I'll go to monthly and I'll draw off some support and resistance. And I like to work from left to right so I can whittle it down, you know, things that will become obvious to your eye, basically where there's a sharp turn, where things were, maybe it was an all-time high, that was an all-time high, that was the pandemic, that was an all-time high, and this is on a monthly. And so sometimes things will jump out at you more clearly on a monthly. And when I create my trade battle plans, I'll do them in different colors, so I know, okay, yellow or gold is my monthly, blue or my weekly, and so on and so forth. And so as I'm going through here, then I'll pop on down to a weekly to see if there's anything else that stands out. Like this level right there, that was an all-time high. We've been kind of flirting with that. You can see recently there's some coming down. Can't forget the underneaths. And here's an example. We see where this support and resistance are kind of close. And this, to me, pops out to me that, at least on a weekly, that's a change control zone where, and I'll put it in this darker, where price was respected to the tick, on both sides, if you will. It's kind of slashed through it, and control between, it's been more of a battle since April than it was before, because back here everything was new all-time highs. We see we got a back test of a level there. We got tested to the tick, and then here we just kind of got a lot of slashing through there. And so that's down to a weekly basis. And then I'll put in just some basic structure things like my trend. And so you can see we're more than 20% off the high. We're certainly in a down channel. There's a variety of different ways you can do your fibs. The first one I always like to do is the swing fib. In this case, this trend line wasn't there when it turned there, but it turned out of support and resistance. It didn't quite reach all the way to that 60. Well, at least not on a weekly, it didn't. Okay. And so it didn't seem like a clean turn, so to speak, but I would venture to guess it was probably a clean turn off of a validated fib. And what I mean by that is, let's go back up and see, we got a retracement here. It filled in our reversal zone. So I can now use this as an anchor, as a new anchor, and let's just see what that did. Still not a clean fill, right there. So, I wouldn't have traded that, but we can use this as an impulse. And see, we got a retracement to the 50. Wasn't exactly clean. So we'll see if we can get it validated. I haven't done this, so I don't know. You see me do it for the first time. Yeah, so you had kind of some overlapping, that trend, we'll put it back in. And then we can go down to the lower time frame and kind of look. So I've got some levels of interest, basically, in both directions, at least from a higher time frame. I don't have any of my big retracement fibs here, but let's just say we're going to put in a swing fib. And it was a little bit short of this 34.91. It turned a few ticks before that. And one thing I've noticed is SPY and SPX actually turned a lot more technically correct than ES did. SPY turned directly on its 50% retracement. This front ran it a little bit, but that's okay. There's other ways to still get involved. It would be nice. Did I take that off? Technically speaking, we can get down in this level. This is and I'll put this in purple so we can see it. That was when the pandemic hit and we just kind of dropped. That's a pretty big line in the sand, if you will. So we can get down here around, big round number 3,400. It's not going to surprise me if we get down to 3,180, because these are some levels of interest. We got some profit targets down here. We didn't even talk about an ABCD, but I have an ABCD completion down here around this trend line at 32.41. But I also have some completions up here. Now, if I put this swing fib back in, I can leave this here and I have some targets to the upside. And again, we're on a weekly right now. I haven't even whittled down to what's my plan going to be for NFP tomorrow. You know, I like this swing fib because if it were to retrace, you know, it's got good clean fill right here on the 50. It's got a good clean fill right here on the 61 and support and resistance. If it breaks up here, people are going to be, you know, euphoric, you know, in the media, and that'd be a good thing, you know, as well. But on our bear market, we're certainly in a down channel. I think it still does have some room, you know, to go down, if you will. So let's go down to a daily. You know, for levels more in the immediate future, let's see if there's any support and resistance that I didn't have at a higher time frame. And again, normally I would do these in different colors. That's a level. That's a level. It's kind of flirting with that level right now on a retest. Where is that 50? Did we already get it? Yeah, so it just tested the 50 on this retracement. So essentially, you know, you saw in a very short period of time that, you know, I've got levels of interest in both directions. Now in a daily, okay, I can still whittle it down further, but, you know, this area down here, 33.97, is not technically out of the question, nor is 41.55. I don't care which way it goes, to be honest with you. So as we go down even further, let's go to a 4-hour. You know, if your sentiment is still bearish, you know, we can put in some more fibs like this. You know, this was a nice retracement off of there. So we can actually put this in. We can use some more of our price action tools right here. That's not out of the question. I don't really see, you know, this was here, but it's no longer valid for us. Yeah, right here, some crosshairs. That would be interesting on a retest if it comes back up to 38.63-ish, that area. And on my battle plans, I'll actually change the colors on this so I don't get confused. I know that's a bearish retracement. The green is a bullish retracement. If someone's, you know, intraday, you know, I wouldn't do this because, you know, one, it's overnight, and two, we got NFP tomorrow. But if you're a scalper and you're trying to get 1 or 2 points, you can, you know, take it. This stuff works on any time frame. You know, you see we got a retracement on the hourly right down to the 61. There is support and resistance there from higher time frame. You know, it'll look like a wick on higher time frame, but that's there. So, you know, the bull enthusiast can say, hey, I'm getting long at 37.25. And technically, you know, they can justify that. But again, everybody has their own styles. You could actually put a fib here to the short side. You know, we got kind of turn to no man's land right there. I would turn that off. And now, so now we're down at an hourly. But given the way volatility has been, you know, if you're going to trade within an hour and you're trading binaries, this would be the approach to do it. But with a big news event and potential catalyst tomorrow morning when the NFP report comes out, you know, you can get, you know, some more big candles just like this in either direction. So that's why I always start at the higher time frame. And like I said, I'll typically have these as different colors. So kind of my levels of interest, you know, are there. I've got this zones for support and resistance. That's there. And I've got these fibs, you know, if market wants to keep tanking tomorrow, you know, that's a potential long. I've got good support coming off of there. Market wants to retrace. 38.63 might be an area to try. But, you know, again, there's no guarantees, but those are my levels of interest in both directions. Does ChartPros offer trade battle plans? Yeah, we don't call them that, but yeah, we actually have a chart subscription where myself and Mike, we post 15 charts per day. I recognize some of the names in here are our chart subscribers as well. Someone was saying they had some trouble with the chat, but if any of our current members have anything to say, you're more than welcome to do that. But yeah, we have a 7-day free trial where you can get our Thinkorswim charts. We post 15 different charts between the indices, the commodities, and Forex.